Hi, I'm Ralph. Welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we are starting one of the episodes of a two-part special. We're doing a special on meatballs and spaghetti sauce. We could put it all together, but I think each are worthy of their own show, don't you? So tonight, let's get started with the meatballs. I'm starting out with two different types of meat. I'm using a very lean, in this case, 93% ground beef and a mild Italian sausage. Now, you could also add another type of meat to this, like maybe a veal or something. If you don't like Italian sausage or it's not part of your dietary restrictions, just double up on the ground beef. To that, I'm going to be adding 2 eggs. For filler, I'm going to be using rolled oats. You could also use panko or breadcrumbs. Also using about 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan, straight from Italy. The fresh stuff, not the stuff in the little green tube. Adding some salt and pepper. And finally, we're going to be putting in some ricotta cheese. Now, the best way to mix all this up is going to be with your hand. So let's get that started. Yes, it feels a little weird. Just feel it squish between your fingers. Make sure you're getting all the ingredients blended throughout. Okay, I think I've got it looking pretty good, pretty well mixed, I think. And after you've been mixing it for a while, you will understand why you're going to be wanting to use your fingers, not a spatula. It just really helps to move that meat around, get it good and mixed up, to be able to reach in there, pick the whole thing up, see what's down below that still needs to be mixed in. So I think we've done a pretty good job getting it mixed up. Now, that ground beef, I think I mentioned how it was lean ground beef. In this case, it was 93% lean. Now, you can't always find that. The reason I chose nice lean ground beef is because we've got a lot of extra fat that's going to be coming from the sausage. And we've also got that ricotta cheese in there that's going to be keeping the moisture inside the meatballs nicely. Now, our oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I did was, I've got an ice cream scoop here. Now, if you want smaller meatballs, there's different size scoops. You can easily find the melon-sized scoops or ice cream-sized scoops at virtually any grocery store, Target, Walmart, wherever. But there's a whole range of different sizes in between an ice cream size and a melon size, melon ball size. And you can usually find those at a good restaurant supply or perhaps at Amazon.com. But if you'd like to see what the size looks like, that's where, if you have a local restaurant supply, and they will let you buy there, it's a good idea to get by there and see just what it is you're making here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and measure one of these off and see about how big of a scoop this makes. Now, I'm making these kind of a level ice cream scoop size. Pulling that out, rolling it into a ball. And that is about 2.5 ounces. Now, maybe you like a 1 ounce size, so smaller size scoop. But in this case, this is what I've got handy. My melon baller size, I think might be just a tad too small. So I would rather, in this case, err on the larger size because I like meatballs. Now, I'm putting those out on parchment paper on a baking sheet. This is going to make a lot. So this is probably going to be more than one dinner's worth, which is why this is going to work out so great for both doing Italian, sub sandwiches, your meatball sandwiches, or putting it in spaghetti, putting it just in marinara sauce as an appetizer. So these are good to just have on hand, stick them in a freezer bag, keep them in the freezer for when you need them. Okay, my last meatball. And as you can see, it pretty well fills up the tray here. Now this is 2 pounds of meat. Obviously, if you're looking for ground beef, that's easy to buy by the pound. Sausage, you don't always find it loose. If you're finding it by the link, generally about 5 links will be equal to your 1 pound. I'll just spread these out a little bit because I've got the space. Now, as I mentioned, I've got the oven at 400 degrees. I'm going to be putting those in for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how your oven temperature, rates. They don't all seem to be the same. And we'll be back in about 20, 30 minutes to see how they turned out. I will see you then. Okay, we're back. The meatballs are out of the oven. I cut one open. It is looking good. It's looking fully cooked inside. As you can see there. Got a good close-up. How do they taste? Let's find out. That's very good. Gunner wants some. Later, Gunner. Now, I put mine out onto a cooling rack for a while, just because the ricotta is starting to kind of drain out of them a little bit. But you don't need to do this. They're perfectly fine in the pan that you cook them in. Now, a serving suggestion. I got some of these sub rolls with this size meatball. You're probably good at just 3 meatballs here. Now this spaghetti sauce is not really done yet. It's still simmering. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit, grabbing some early, just putting some over the sandwich like that. Good amount in here. Now let me ask you, does that not look good or what? These meatballs are awesome. Tell you what, Gunner, you want some? Come here, bud. After all, he's been quiet for most of the time. Here you go, bud. Think they're Gunner approved. Your family's gonna like them. I know mine does. So till next time, be sure to check out the spaghetti sauce video because it's turning out awesome. See you next time. Bye-bye.